Level 1, Episode 4, Single Crochet, Front Loop Only and Back Loop Only. Here's your information for this stitch. So single crochet in the US, but the UK calls it a double crochet. The abbreviations are SC and DC. This stitch is worked in multiples of 1, plus your turning chain, which is 1. And at the bottom there, you can see your chart symbol. Now to work a single crochet, you're going to put your hook underneath the 2 bars on the top of your previous stitch, 1 and 2. Yarn over your hook, pull it through, yarn over and pull it through the 2 loops that you've now got on your hook. Let's work that again. Work your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull that through. You're going to have 2 loops on your hook and you're going to yarn over again and pull that through both loops. That's your single crochet. One more time. Hook in the stitch, pull your yarn through, two loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. Simple as that. You've got this now. There we go. Let's just work to the end of this row. Now the last stitch can be a little bit tricky because it's basically wonky. So make sure you get it through both those loops. Yarn through both loops, and that is your row done. Now you're going to crochet 1 chain because that's your stitch height, and then you're going to turn your work around, move your working yarn to the back, and you're going to work all the way along again. So you're going to find that hole there for the stitch, yarn through, yarn over, through 2 loops, through the stitch, yarn through, yarn over, through the 2 loops. There we go. Let's just work to the end of the row and you'll see what it looks like. Now remember that last stitch can be a bit tricky, so make sure you get it under both loops. Yes, both loops. 1, 2, and work that last stitch of the row. And that's your second row done. There we go. Now you can continue that by doing your stitch height at the beginning and working back and forth. And it's as simple as that for your single crochet. Now, if you take a look here, I've got a sample of what single crochet can look like in a bit more bulk. So this top section here is your single crochet rows. Okay, now I always put little labels on my work. So you'll see that it's a DK, which is the UK version, and so is the 6mm hook. And then we have the single crochet, which is the stitch name in American. Might be a little confusing for you, but that's how I work. Now, we're on to the next section. This section here in the middle is going to be created using back loop only and front loop only to give you this lined, ridged effect of your single crochet. So on my label, I have the DK 6mm and single crochet, and then I have FLO and BLO, which is your abbreviations for front loop only and back loop only. So front loop only abbreviation is FLO. You're working in multiples of 1 again because it's still single crochet and your turning chain is still single. Alright, so if you look at the top of the stitches that we've just done, you'll see that the 2 loops, okay, you've got front and you've got back, okay. We're going to work along the front loop only, right, right? Because this is the front of your work, that's your back of the work, okay? So we're just working the front part, not the back part of the stitch. Okay, so you would normally work a stitch like that under both those loops, okay? Instead, we're still coming in from the front of the work, but we're going up in between the two loops so that we only have the front loop on our hook. Then you just work your single crochet as normal. So get that front loop only, up it goes, and you'll just have that one loop on your hook when you work your stitch. Okay? Just work to the end of the row, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so we've just finished our work. This is what the back looks like at the moment, because obviously I've just turned the work. So here's the front, and the stitches we've just worked, you'll see that they come forward, up and forward, and that is simply because you've only worked in the front loop. And if you turn it over and look on the back, you can see that the back loops are still there. You see those there? And they will make a line going all the way across your work, because they're the part of the stitch that hasn't been worked. So if you look here, and I've done a few more extra rows, you'll see that will be a bit more obvious to you. So as you can see, you have your lines both on the front and the back of your work now, because you've been turning your work at the end of each row. Right, this is back loop only. Your abbreviation is BLO. You're working multiples of 1 still, because it's still single crochet, and your turning chain is still 1. Right, so get ready to work just the back loop only this time. There's your 2 loops, and we're going to go in the middle and then out the back. Okay. Your hook down in the middle of the stitch, pick up that back loop only, and then work your single crochet as normal. Okay, in through the top, pick up that back loop only, bring your yarn through, yarn over and through both loops to work your single crochet. There we go. You can see just picking up that back loop. So this time we're leaving the front loop unworked and just working that back loop. Okay, let's get to the end. Okay, so this is what we've got. Alright, and it looks almost exactly the same, but you'll see that the stitches are working away from you rather than to you, they're working away from you. Now if you turn your work to the side, you'll see that it has a zigzaggy effect. Okay, so whether you work back loop only or front loop only, that is the effect it's going to give you on your work. Front loop only and back loop only alternative rows will give you a different look. So let's do that. We've just worked some back loop only, so I'm going to work another row of the front loop only, followed by a row of back loop only, front loop only, back loop only, and so on and so on. And I'll show you that and how it looks. So here's our back loop only row, just using the back loops. So after working your few rows of back loop and front loop, going to show you the difference now. So if you look at what we've just worked, okay, the top section is the alternate rows, okay? And you'll notice that the lines are a lot closer together. See, when we've worked just back loop or just front loop, you can see that the lines are further apart because you've been turning your work. You'll see that it's every single row rather than every 2 rows, okay? And if you look at the side of your work, it's not as zigzag as when you do just one of the stitches. So it gives your work a lot flatter appearance. So you'll have more of the lines in your work and you'll have a flatter surface, basically. Any questions, just pop them down below, okay? So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is up. Like, comment, and share this video with your crochet friends. Much appreciated. I'll see you next time, and happy hooking.